10 celebrities that committed horrible crimes. Number 10. Dustin Diamond. Dustin Diamond, better known as Screech from Saved by the Bell, was charged with second-degree murder in 2015 after a man he stabbed during a barroom brawl died at a Wisconsin hospital. He was convicted of 2 misdemeanors, carrying a concealed weapon and disorderly conduct, and was sentenced to 4 months in prison. 9. Mark Wahlberg. Before Mark Wahlberg was a famous actor, even before he was Marky Mark, he qualified as a criminal. By age 13, Wahlberg had been in trouble with the Boston Police Department around 24 times. In his youth, he quickly became addicted to cocaine and other substances. By 15, had a civil action filed against him for harassing black children, and at 16, he assaulted 2 Asian men in racially motivated attacks. One Asian man he knocked unconscious with a wooden stick, and in the same day, he punched another in the face. Wahlberg was charged with attempted murder, but pled guilty to assault. He served only 45 days of a 2-year sentence in Suffolk County Deer Island House of Correction. 8. Mike Tyson. Back in 1991, Tyson was arrested for the rape of an 18-year-old girl who claims that she begged for him to stop, but the boxer pinned her down and refused. A year after the incident, Tyson was sentenced to 6 years in prison, followed by a 4 years probation, of which he only served 3. 7. Tim Allen. Before his acting career, Tim Allen Dick, his full name, was arrested for drug trafficking in 1978 and was caught with over 650 grams of cocaine in his possession. He pled guilty. He elected to have his sentence reduced to 3 to 7 years in exchange for the names of other dealers. On June 12, 1981, he was paroled after serving only 2 years and 4 months. 6. R. Kelly. R. Kelly has had many instances with young girls. In 1996, he was sued by Tiffany Hawkins for having sexual relations with her when she was 15 and he was 24. Later, he was accused of assaulting a minor when a video surfaced allegedly depicting Kelly having sex with and urinating on an underage girl. Even more than you might have forgotten all about the battery incident at a Lafayette health club, which left one victim requiring 110 facial stitches back in 1997. 5. Jay-Z. Before Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Corey Carter, became one of the biggest and most important musicians in the world, he was a criminal. When he was 12, he shot his older brother Eric in the shoulder. In 1999, Carter stabbed music producer Lance Un Riviera outside of a nightclub, but ended up pleading guilty to a misdemeanor and was sentenced to just 3 years probation. It was alleged that under the cover of the commotion created by his entourage, Jay-Z used a 5-inch blade to stab Riviera in the stomach. 4. Robert Rosier. Ex-NFL player Robert Rosier was charged with the murder of 7 people as an initiation challenge for the black supremacist cult The Brotherhood. He pled guilty to the crimes and provided information on the Brotherhood that reduced his sentence to 22 years. After 10 years, he was released into the Witness Protection Program with the new name Robert Ramses. He's now in prison again for 25 years to life for writing $2,000 in bad checks. 3. Will Smith. In 1989, Smith was part of a group of men that assaulted a man and left him almost blind. He spent 1 night in jail and described it as the worst night of his life. The charges against Will, which were later dismissed, included aggravated assault, criminal conspiracy, simple assault, and recklessly endangering another person. 2. Ricardo Medina Jr. Former Power Rangers Samurai star Ricardo Medina Jr. was charged with 1 count of murder for allegedly fatally stabbing his roommate. The men allegedly were arguing about Medina's girlfriend when the argument turned physical. Medina is accused of stabbing his roommate multiple times with a sword, after which the actor called the police and first responders took the roommate to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. If convicted of the charge, Medina faces a possible sentence of life imprisonment with a chance of parole after 26 years. 1. Charlie Sheen. Everyone remembers Sheen's drug and porn star rampage a few years ago, but the actor's run-ins with addiction and legal problems date farther back than that. In 1990, Sheen accidentally shot Kelly Preston, his then fiancée, in the arm. Even his partying a few years ago wasn't just harmless fun, as the actor faced charges in 2009 of assaulting his wife Brooke Bueller. In 2010, he was removed from a hotel suite after doing $7 grand in damages. Sheen lives a reckless life and has served very little time in jail, but is now sentenced to a life of HIV.